Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Imtiaz Ahmad. I'm a student of BBA program in Iqra University. It's my honor to be here with Sir Fawad Langa. He has served as chair, he is a trainer, and he is a consultant of Model United Nations MAN, and he has represented Pakistan nationally or internationally, and he has lot of experience. He has about 10 years of experience in this field of Model United Nations, and he's training student. He has served for Pakistan in New York, Malaysia, and other countries too. He's also motivational for our youth, and he's motivating our youth in regarding developing their skills. Sir, thank you very much for your valuable time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Math. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, it's an honor for me as well that you guys just came across and taken an interview what I've been achieved so far. Thank you so much for that.
Sir, so my question is, how has been your learning journey and experience so far?
There are very ups and downs, and I guess every single person does have every ups and downs whenever you're talking about the career development and to achieve something. If I remember, from the second year side, or you can say just go back to the matriculation, right? I had an aim or vision to be the JDB pilot first of all, and then I applied. I went to the ISSB, but on the very first hour actually, I've been not recommended. I've been screened out just because of that. I had an accident just about 15 days before. So I was quite depressed that time, and of course because it was my vision. But anyhow, I did continue thanks to my parents, especially my dad, of course, always came across, keep supporting me. That doesn't matter, it's a part of life. Do have some options in your life. That is something good learning for me at that time. That not particular focus on one tactics or one vision. We should have some options in our life. Like if you fall down, any of your vision, then you should have some options to pursue your career. After that, in intermediate, just get knowledge with the engineering, but not get proper marks in my engineering. I guess I had like 56%, so couldn't manage to get 65 or 60, which is like for the pre-engineering. But then after I've been hanged into the IT field, information technology, I did my graduation from PFT in BSc Telecommunication Networks. But there was one thing that was keep pushing me from inside, that I think I was not actually born to be the IT person. So on the very next year of my career, like BS Telecommunication, after having like 1 year, I just spent that average student, fine, not getting proper interest into IT field, unable to understand the programming on those. But I came across with Model United Nations field. That was in 2009 April. When I came across with that, it was just still a picture was blur for me. Of course, things going like upside or over the moon, and I don't understand what I'm trying to do. So, but there was something that was really pushing me in that I guess if I put more efforts, I guess I can come up with something on that. And then day by day, I've started participating in different conferences, and then my first international conference, and even though before that I had to do other different conferences, because these were like 2009, 2010, and then 2011. At that time, there was not a much boom of modernization field in Pakistan actually. But again, plenty of conferences like from CBM side, CEBIS side, and then IBA, then LAMS. And then after that, when I had some plenty of conferences in my head, I started my journey for the international conferences. And I had my first international conference in Germany, and alhamdulillah, for that first international conference, I've been awarded. I've got an award in that conference. Then I realized that I guess I have to do something in that field. That's not actually, I must say, that I'm just sticking myself, pushing myself in something that I don't really understand. Then in 2012, when I've been only Pakistani selected in United Nations, New York, from across Pakistan, Alhamdulillah, and then I went for 1 week Model United Nations workshop, which was actually organized by United Nations. When I attended that workshop, my moderators were actually the special advisor of the General Assembly President, and they were like vice chair of the Security Council as well. They really advised me one thing, that we believe you're not actually for the IT related people, because when they asked me that, if you just introduce yourself, what is your background? I said like, I'm pursuing my bachelor's, I'm from Pakistan, I'm from Karachi, and my bachelor's, I'm into the IT field. He said, hold on a second, you actually don't look like that you're an IT person, because the way you are dealing with the things, you're more like into the public speaking and the politics side, because we can feel that. I said, okay, fair enough, I'll take your advice as a positive manner. We're still having some hammering on my things, that what I actually am doing in my field, like being an IT person and getting more like achievements, as well as some good skills into the public speaking and diplomacy and politics side. Then I came back on the same year. I got another opportunity in Geneva, the secondary headquarters of the United Nations, in which Alhamdulillah I've been selected as a block representative or trainer for the Organization for Islamic Cooperation in Geneva International Model UN, and that's in 2012. And over there, I've trained 65 delegates over there for the Geneva International Model United Nation as a block representative of OIC. Then I realized this is something, and I come up with a decision. I guess it's enough. I have to change my field. It is too much now, because I cannot push myself to that particular field that I was not actually born for. If I push myself, okay, at the end of the day, I will do that. But what I'm going to do in future, that's going to be a biggest problem for me then. Then after that, when I came back home, discussed this thing with my parents, my brother, my teachers, my director, they all have suggested to me that it's good that you're getting the achievements and all those things. But you've spent like 2.5 years in your field now, in the bachelor's years. So don't leave in just middle of it. Don't just transfer your things, and don't just to skip this field and jump into another field. Just try to finish this field first. Whatever you can do, so then I just put myself hard, put lots of efforts on that, simultaneously getting day by day every single conferences as a delegate, and then internationally, alhamdulillah, like after the Germany, went to Singapore, then of course then New York, that happened, and then Geneva House in Switzerland. So I'm getting stronger and stronger, and keep enhancing my skills into the public speaking and more into the modernization side. That really helps me to work on my communication skills, and this is so on. And then after I've done with my bachelor's, and then went for my higher studies in London, and then after I did in 2015, I did my master's in international relations from Middlesex University. And then upon 2 specialized certification, one is in public policy economics from University of Oxford, and another one is global diplomacy from University of London. So this is how I've started my journey, and now I've been, alhamdulillah, across the world, being known as an international consultant and a trainer for Model United Nations. And even in August, I've been given an award from United Ambassador as an exceptional Model United Nations trainer from across the world. So this was my entire journey. So
that's great. What your story to reflects is you have worked so hard to explore actually your real talent, right?
Indeed.
You are in your student life, like as all students face challenges, what were your main challenges you faced in your student life that which hit you, which made you to explore yourself? Like as all students face challenges, there could be some main challenges which you faced while in your student life.
I guess there was this time for me when I was in intermediate. We do have some financial constraints, right? And I skipped like 1.5 years of my education. While pursuing my intermediate, I actually faced a financial constraint from my family side. We do have some crisis at that time. Couldn't manage to give a proper attention to my studies because I needed to pay my fees. That was the issue. But that time, I was skipped my education for 1.5 years, or almost like 2 years, and I started doing the job. And I was earning, if I remember, 4,600 per month. And later on, after the probation, I got an increment of, the total like gross salary was 6,000 actually. So those days were really precious for me, I must say, because I learned how to earn the money and how to actually waste the money in a productive manner. So that 1.5 year skipping of my education, fully supporting my family in a very, very chunk amount, but at least I was just trying to coping up with the situation. So that was the biggest challenge at that time for me, like 1.5 year or approx 2 years for me, that keep supporting myself, keep supporting my family, sacrifice the 2 years of my education career, but just trying to cope up with the situation and the crisis. And then after, alhamdulillah, things change, of course. Every single day is a different day, of course. So alhamdulillah, went across, and again, thanks to my parents, of course. They buck up me, that's fine, no problem. You have done your job, just go and pursue your education. And then after I was rejoined my education and then so on and moving into that, there was a big issue, I must say, the biggest challenge for me. It was like, after, as I said, I had a major accident. I had an issue of my memory loss. I cannot even somehow remember things drastically, or like from my my young age side. So I always believe on the concepts. I cannot like remember something, what we can say, मैं रट्टा नहीं लगा सकता. That is it. So always start work on my concepts.
So coming to a point, sir,
Yes.
adding this your concept, like what are your major strengths that you or how you see it yourself that are your particular strengths which make you different from others, or what are the weaknesses you are feeling that these are some weaknesses which I must work at?
With regards to the strength, I must say, like I'm a dedicated, hard worker, and the best thing that I've found in myself is a confidence. I never get worried to speak with anyone, anytime. I don't mind to speak with them, doesn't matter who else he is at. If I have a right to speak, I think I'm supposed to, and that's one of my biggest strengths. I never mind to speak with someone. Respect, of course, that is my major thing. I always respect someone's idea, someone's opinion. But I've never thought that I feel like a bit bored or I feel a bit of a scaring to speak with someone. So that's I must say my biggest strength, and of course like hardworking and dedicated. And if I think that I can do that, so I can do that. That is what attitude which I've got now in myself, that I can do that. So if I think that yes, I can do that, so I can adopt that environment with the vision in my mind. Yes, I can do that.
Yes,
So that's something that I've learned from my life into that. That's what I can say in my side.
Yes, great, sir. What are the regrets in your life? Like there must be regrets in every.
Regret, but I believe in one thing. Like, if you are taking any decision, right, think about it. Think about it twice and twice, and in fact 10 times. Doesn't matter. But just think about before taking any such decisions. But once you take the decision, don't regret it, because regression starts from that side. So if you think that this particular decision is good for you in a long term and the short term, taking the external and environment side for you, so like your external threats, your internal threats, your own possibilities, your family, your personal development, your immediate family, like your spouse, your children. So then take the decision. But once you take the decision, don't regret on that, I must say. So as far as my knowledge, I don't think so. I am a regret to took any such decisions in my life. Maybe in future it does come, but till now, I don't think so. I must have any kind of regret in my field.
Okay, thanks, sir. Sir, what would be your final message for our viewers?
Whatever you're doing, do that.
In any situation.
Do that from your heart. Because at the end of the day, you can bluff to your parents, you can bluff to your siblings, but you cannot, and even you can never bluff from your own self. So don't bluff yourself. If you think you're fine, you're satisfied with this field, go for it. Put your 100% in that. But at least show your dedication in that. That is something very much important for you. And for our youth, especially for my own nation, one of the biggest problems is that they cannot speak for their right. Speak up. Raise your hand. If you have any problem during your classes, during your sessions, raise hand. At least come up with that confidence that you could speak at the front of your teacher that I cannot understand. Tell me how I can understand this thing. And these things comes, of course, because I've been through with such stages. If I go back in earlier days when I was like in 2007, 2008, in fact, I was like an average student that I cannot speak with someone, I cannot even raise questions. But day by day, when I get in touch with different public speaking platforms, and these platforms, the modernization platform, will actually change my entire life, just like Upside Down. I am very much thankful to this field. And of course, from your platform, I'm going to say to everyone, I'm never going to retire from this field, because I've got in myself like been now 10 years. Now it's time to share with others, and that's what I'm doing across the globe now.
Yes.
So the first thing what I need to suggest to my nation, first of all, be confident, speak for your right, and second, try to get involved in different youth platforms, an academic platform, extracurriculum that really helps you to motivate you and to, of course, creating a great confidence level and to boost up your confidence level in your life.
Sir, thank you very much for such a wonderful talk.
Thank you so much. It was an honor for me. It was really an honor for me to just give me an interview to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.